Welcome to today's training. Today we'll explore key insights from Stephen Covey, the author of The Speed of Trust, and discuss how trust impacts leadership, relationships, and organizational performance. Many people think of trust as a soft skill, but Covey argues that trust is actually a measurable business asset. Throughout the session, we'll examine how trust accelerates results, reduces friction, and creates stronger teams. As we go through the material, think about your own experiences. When trust was high, how did it affect speed, communication, and outcomes? When trust was low, what changed? Let's begin with an important idea. Trust is not simply a personal virtue, it's a strategic asset. In The Speed of Trust, Stephen Covey reveals that high trust environments consistently outperform low trust ones. When trust is present, decisions happen faster, collaboration flows naturally, and innovation thrives. Conversely, when trust is absent, every interaction becomes slower, more expensive, and less effective. Understanding trust as a strategic asset is the first step towards transforming how you lead and how your organization performs. Covey introduces the concept that trust affects both speed and cost. When trust is high, things move faster and cost less because people spend less time checking, verifying, and protecting themselves. When trust is low, processes slow down, more approvals are required, communication becomes guarded, and resources are consumed by control mechanisms. Simply put, high trust creates a dividend, while low trust creates a tax. Ask yourself, where do you see trust creating speed in your organization? And where might trust issues be slowing things down? One of the most empowering insights from Stephen Covey's work is that trust is not an innate trait. It's a skill that can be deliberately developed, strengthened, and even restored. This means anyone can become a high trust leader through intentional practice and consistent action. Trust grows when we align our behaviors with our values, demonstrate reliability over time, and commit to continuous improvement in how we interact with others. Trust is built on two essential pillars that work together. Character encompasses four cores of credibility: your integrity, intent, capabilities, and results. Who you are at your core. Competence reflects your capabilities, results, and performance, what you can deliver. Both pillars must be strong for trust to exist. You can have great character but lack competence, or be highly competent but lack integrity. True trust requires the alignment of both, creating a foundation for meaningful relationships and effective leadership. Covey outlines 13 behaviors that consistently build trust. The first 6 you see on the slide are delivering results, getting better, confronting reality, clarifying expectations, practicing accountability, and listening first. These behaviors are practical and observable. They are actions that leaders choose daily. As we review them, think about which of these behaviors is currently your strongest and which one could benefit from additional focus. The additional behaviors shown on this slide include keeping commitments, extending trust, talking truthfully, demonstrating respect, creating transparency, righting wrongs, and showing loyalty. Notice that trust is built through consistency more than grand gestures. Small actions repeated over time often have greatest impact on trust. Covey identifies extending trust as the ultimate trust behavior. Extending trust means empowering others while applying good judgment and appropriate safeguards. When leaders extend trust, people often rise to meet expectations. They feel valued, empowered, and accountable. This doesn't mean being naive. It means practicing what Covey calls smart trust, combining trust with wisdom and risk awareness. Trust begins with credibility. Covey identifies 4 cores of credibility: integrity, intent, capabilities, and results. Ask yourself, do people believe my actions match my values? Do they trust my motives? Do people have confidence in my abilities? Have I produced results consistently? These 4 areas form foundation of a personal and professional trust. We often focus on how leaders create trust, but every employee contributes to workplace trust. Being a high trust contributor means taking responsibility for our own credibility, commitment, communication, and performance. Trust is everyone's responsibility, not just leadership's. Let's revisit the importance of extending trust. Consider this question: who on your team could benefit from more trust, ownership, or autonomy? Sometimes growth occurs when leaders step back and allow others to step forward. Extending trust can unlock confidence, engagement, and innovation. Leaders must embody trust through consistent alignment between words and actions. This is the foundation of the first actionable insight from the speed of trust. When leaders demonstrate integrity by doing what they say they will do, they create a ripple effect through the organization. Trust modeling isn't about perfection, it's about authenticity, transparency, and accountability. When your team sees you walking the talk, they're inspired to do the same, creating a culture where trust becomes the norm rather than the exception. Trust can be damaged, and it can also be restored. Let's pause here to discuss the 2 questions: what causes trust to be lost, and what actions help rebuild it? If you're working through this training with a partner or group, pause here to discuss. If you're working through this training on your own, pause the video to write down your thoughts. Developing trust is different from restoring trust. Development focuses on strengthening existing relationships, while restoration focuses on repairing damaged ones. Covey recommends several trust-building practices. Start with yourself, declare your intent, listen first, create transparency, keep commitments, and practice accountability. These actions build trust before problems arise. Take a moment to reflect. Which trust-building behavior would make the biggest difference in your role if practiced more consistently? Trust develops through intentional daily choices. Small improvements in behavior can create significant long-term improvements in relationships and results. This slide brings 3 important ideas together. Great leaders know how to extend trust when appropriate, restore trust when it has been damaged, and develop trust continuously. Trust is not a one-time achievement. It requires ongoing attention and action. Building credibility is essential for establishing trust. According to Covey, credibility rests on 4 core elements: integrity, intent, capabilities, and results. Integrity means being honest and congruent in your actions. Intent reflects your motives and agenda. Capabilities encompass your skills, knowledge, and talents. Results demonstrate your track record of delivering outcomes. When all 4 elements align, you become a credible leader others naturally trust and follow. A high trust culture is the foundation for organizational excellence. When leaders encourage open communication, collaboration, and accountability, they create an environment where innovation flourishes and engagement soars. Trust empowers teams to take risks, share ideas freely, and work together toward common goals without fear of blame or judgment. When trust has been broken, restoration begins with acknowledging mistakes. Leaders must take responsibility, make amends where appropriate, and demonstrate consistent behavior moving forward. Trust is rebuilt one action at a time. The key is matching words with actions repeatedly over time. In times of transformation, trust accelerates adaptability and resilience across teams and organizations. When leaders have established a foundation of trust, change initiatives move faster and with less resistance. Teams that trust their leaders are more willing to embrace uncertainty, take calculated risks, and adapt to new ways of working. Trust creates psychological safety that allows people to voice concerns, share ideas, and collaborate through challenges. Organizations with high trust navigate disruption more effectively because people focus on solutions rather than self-protection. As we wrap up, let's review the key takeaways. Trust is measurable and has a direct impact on organizational performance. Trust depends on both character and competence, and the 13 behaviors provide practical ways to build trust. Trust can be developed, restored, broken, and extended. Most importantly, trust is a skill that anyone can strengthen through intentional action and consistent behavior. Thank you for participating in this training. As you leave today, consider one specific trust-building action you will apply immediately. Whether it's keeping commitments, listening more effectively, increasing transparency, or extending trust to others, small actions can create significant change. Remember the central message of the speed of trust. When trust goes up, speed increases and costs decrease.